And a touchdown for the Hamilton Tigercats.
Hey, all, Rick here for another Tigecat preview. This is actually going to be the last one of the season before we get into the playoffs. We are playing our last home game of the regular season against Ottawa Redblacks, and if we win, we get to host the East Final. So, with that being said, let's jump into things for the Ottawa Redblacks. On the boundary side, wide receiver Gino Lewis. Beside him is left tackle Boyd. Left guard is Drew Desjardins and Carson. Godbert is center. Ruby and Kenville is right guard. Right tackle is D. Jones. Luther Kunavanu and Kalen White at wide receiver. Pimpleton at slot back beside Addison. You have Goslin and Dubois as fullback. Trey Adams with Matt Schultz and Dustin Crum as third string. Daniel Adnaboye with William Stanback and Deadman as the running backs. And then Justin Hardy as the slot back. You have Lewis Ward and Richie Leone as the kicker and punter. Adji as the long snapper, and then Pimpleton and Deadman as the punt return and kickoff returns. On defensive end, on the boundary side, we have John and Wakefield laying at the defensive tackle. Taylor and Adjali as the other defensive tackles. Carter as the defensive end. You have Taylor, Cormier, Jones, and Griffiths as the weak side linebackers. Santos Knox, Vrede, and Peters as the middle line linebackers. And then Darius Pickett as the Sam linebacker. Coldon Fry as the corner and halfback on the boundary side. Lamont, Howell, and Cumberbatch as the safeties. Milton as the halfback, and Lockridge as the strong field side cornerback. Now, on your hometown Ticats, we have on the boundary side wide receiver Kenny the King Lawler and Isaiah Wooden Sr. To the left of him, to the right of him, we have Jordan Murray at left tackle, Brendan Revenberg at left guard, Coulter Winmansey and Zott at center, Liam Dobson at right guard, and Quinton Barrow at right tackle. On the field side, wide receiver is Shamar Bridges. To the left of him at the slot back is Keandre Smith and Brendan O'Leary Orange. Running backs, we have Greg Bell and Justin Augustine. Or Johnny Augustine, not Justin. Johnny Augustine. Quarterbacks, we have Bo Levi Mitchell, Taylor Powell, and Jake Dolagala. Fullback and tight end, we have Milanovic Litre, Giovanni Robinson, and Dan Bell. To the slot backs to the left of them, we have Tyler Chanowski and Tim White. Tyler Chanowski will start the first play, and then Tim White will come in as a nationalized American. We have Mark Leggio and Gordon White as the kicker and long snapper, Nick Constantino as the punter, Isaiah Wooden Sr. as the punt return. For defense, on the boundary side, defensive end, we have Julian Hauser and Ramirez. Miles Fox is back in the lineup this week at defensive tackle. And you have Casey Sales and Ty Anderson at the other defensive tackle. Philip Ossie and Owen Hubert at the field side defensive end. Kyler Fisher, Brian Cole, and Trevor Hoyt as the weak side linebackers. You have Braden Hill, Verisek, and Baker as the middle linebacker. Reggie Stubblefield as the Sam linebacker, and then you have Jamal Peters and Talbert on the secondary. On the boundary side, you have Ketchatonis and Horrell as free safety. Panabaker and Amos as the halfbacks. Panabaker will get the start as the starting halfback, and then Amos will come in, and then Jonathan Moxey will run out. The defense. If we go to the game notes, Hamilton can clinch the East final at home. All they have to do is they have the edge at the Montreal head-to-head. All they need to do is a win or Montreal loss tomorrow, and Hamilton can secure the top. So, you know what? We can control our own destiny. Control our own destiny and just win today, and so be it. Hamilton has taken the first two meetings of the season, going back to 2019, are 15-2 versus the Redblacks, and Hamilton has won the last 7 games at home against Ottawa. Hamilton's +6 turnover ratio. Hamilton is tied for 4th with a +6 in the turnover ratio this season, but we're a -3 and tied for a season high with 4 in their last game against Calgary in Week 19 with 2 interceptions and 2 turnovers on downs. Greg Bell rushing. The Tabbies running back has 581 rushing yards in his last 6 games and 944 on the season. 56 short of his first career 1,000-yard season. James Butler recently got over 1K mark for Hamilton, 1,116 in 2023. Prior to that, the club's last 1,000-yard receiver was DeAndre Cobb in 2010. Bo Levi Mitchell, 34 touchdown passes. With 34 touchdown passes in 2025, he's just 1 short of matching his career high of 35 in 2028. So Bo Levi Mitchell will be setting a career high for touchdowns. 55 and 56. Bo Levi Mitchell leads the league with 34 touchdown passes, 5,034 yards. The first passer to reach 5,000 in 2025. It is the 4th time in his career that he has gone over 5,000, and he has done it in consecutive seasons. He is the 7th quarterback to record consecutive 5,000-yard seasons. Warren Moon in 82-83, Kent Austin in 92-93. Doug Flutie in 94. I think that's supposed to be 94, 95, 96, 97. Anthony Cavillo, 2002 to 2005, and 11 and 12. Ricky Ray, 05, 06. And Mike Riley, 16 to 18. Tim White just needs, I wrote that down. I was off by 1. I thought 54, but it was 53. Needs 53 yards this week to reach 1,000 for the 4th time in his career. He's become the 2nd Ticat receiver to reach 1,000 yards in consecutive seasons. Darren Fleely accomplished that in 98 to 2001. Kenny Lawler, 14 touchdowns. Kenny Lawler leads the CFL with 14 receiving touchdowns, one off the franchise mark set by Tony Chapman in 1989. Kenny Lawler is coming off his 4th 100-yard receiving this season, 113 and 1 touchdown on 8 receptions versus Calgary, after tying his high with 13. Kenny Lawler is up to 1,400 receiving yards on the season, 7th in franchise history. The top 5 as follows: Champion 1656, Banks 1550, Strapler 1516, Winfield 1496, and Cody 1426. Trey Adam makes his 2nd career CFL start last week and had his best career best of 286 passing yards and 3 touchdowns. He ran for 26 yards while completing 27 of 44 passes to 8 different receivers. Geno Lewis has caught 5 passes for 37 yards and a touchdown versus Montreal and reached 1,000 yards for the 4th time in his career. Lewis is the CFL's active leader in receiving yards with 7,261 and 47 touchdowns. Hardy can reach 1,000 yards. He's just 32 yards with it from reach, and it will be the 3rd straight 1K season for him. The last Ottawa receiver to do that for the last 3 seasons in a row came in 2018 when it was Brad Sinopoli and Greg Alexson. Trey Adams makes his 2nd career start last year. Okay, you just put that up here. You wrote that twice. Pimpleton is up to 2,195 all-purpose yards, 674 yards from scrimmage, 1,521 kickoff or kick return yards for 3rd in the CFL. Bryce Carter broke 7 tackles and 2 sacks versus the Alouettes after recording 3 sacks in 16 games. So that is the preview. Do appreciate it. Tonight, at some point, I will have my review. But I do appreciate everyone for stopping by and watching today's content. This is Rick from Hamilton Sports Central, and have yourself a great rest of your day.